Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Kneon. I am here with Geeky Sparkles.
Hello.
And we just did a video the other day talking about Mihoyo getting rid of some of its voice actors because of the union thing. Well, actually, they replaced them. They chose not to work with them. It's complicated, but now we've got this situation bleeding over into what I believe their biggest game, which is Genshin Impact. And apparently the community is eating itself alive, and the voice actors are attacking each other. Dogs and cats living together, mass hysteria. It's crazy. We're gonna try to make sense of this. I want to disclaim it. I am aware of Genshin Impact. I think I've played it a total of maybe 2 times. I am not a Genshin Impact fan. I do know that the Genshin fandom is choose my words carefully. Passionate. Yes, that is the word I'm looking for. Quote unquote passionate, much like the Ruby fandom is quote unquote passionate. So I'm sure.
And to be fair, I've never played it at all, so I want to clarify that because it's not something I'd play. So
it is very popular. It is.
I know what it is. I mean, I'm well aware of it. I personally have not played it.
It's been around for a while. It's got a huge fandom, and it's voice actor thing. So just to give you a little bit of context before we get into it, I'm not 100% sure what's going on here. We're going to find out. I've got a bunch of posts pulled up. We got this article pulled up. They're going to try and make sense of it for us. So ZZZ, which was another Mihoyo game.
Yes, we talked about that yesterday.
Yeah, Zenla Zone Zero. Yeah. So they have the issue because of SAG-AFTRA. They replaced the one guy. Yeah, you know the deal, right? But apparently, this is kind of across the board now that if you're part of SAG-AFTRA, chances are you're not going to be working on this game, and they're going to replace you. They're going to step right over you. But they were attacking, I guess, one of the replacements as a Scab, but the guy actually is from Japan, and it's like SAG-AFTRA is not even an option. So it's like, what are you doing? Yeah, what are you doing here? And I'll tell you what is going to happen. The more behavior like this occurs, the faster these voice actors are going to be replaced, because we're at a place right now where the technology is there, or there are other people that are non-union that will happily do the work.
Well, it's a lot of it's done in other countries, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So they don't give a shit because they're going to find somebody else in there that's in their own, circle to do it. Like, they don't actually owe American voice actors the opportunity. They're letting them do it. We talked about yesterday. It's like, I think the AI replacement thing's shit, but this isn't an AI. This is a person.
This is a person. Yeah. AI will be next. And actually AI will assist in the overseas voice actors being able to have their dialogue dubbed into whatever language they want to do it in. I mean, they're already doing it with the actress that plays Goku. Like, you're not going to need an American actor to do English voiceovers for Goku, much longer, because they can just do it, and they don't have to deal with all the headaches that come with it. Because before we get into it any further, that's okay. It's my fault. Please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, guys. You'll get a woohoo if you do.
Woohoo!
But I want to walk it back here a little bit, because there's been all kinds of controversy with voice actors on this game. If you remember, last year we covered this, where some of the voice actors came out and they were mad about the new region, the Natlan region, which they said was they believed it was based on Africa, and African tribes, and the characters were too light-skinned, and so we actually had the voice actors getting in on it. And
it's a fantasy something. They might take an inspiration, but that doesn't mean that they're not actually like from Africa.
Right. So they stepped into it there. And I'm like, look, we keep telling people don't shit where you eat. And if Mihoyo's paying you to represent the game, remember, this is a Chinese company.
I was going to say, it's a Chinese company. They're going to do them lighter skin. Sorry.
But beyond that, they don't give a shit about your social justice, whatever.
No.
They don't care. They
will care less than Japan does, I'll tell you that much.
Yes. So there is that. So that was kind of strike one. And then the strike happened like either around the same time or not long after that. And, they were talking about how, SAG-AFTRA strike is leaving Genshin quiet. Apparently they weren't recording new lines or whatever. And it's getting to a place now where we're talking 8 months, I guess this dang voice actor strike has been going on. So now companies are finding workarounds. They're either hiring other voice actors, or they're playing with the idea of doing AI. We
well,
talked
if
about
they weren't going to do AI before, you're just hastening the arrival of it. I mean, I get where they're coming from. They want protections because what they want to do is really crappy, where they can take past performances and use that voice to do future performances and not pay you or give you, royalties and stuff. Yeah, I get it. That's shit. Totally agree with you. However, all this is doing is hastening your replacement with AI.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Because I mean, if anything can make a case for it, and it's not just the unionizing, it's all the drama. And we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about the drama. So this is coming from Push Square. Genshin Impact community in flames as English cast turn on new voice actor. This is diabolical. So said they report about how the Zenless Zone Zero actors were replaced.
Every time I hear the ZZZ, our cat is named Ozzy. Well, it's Oswald, and we call him Ozzy. But I always go ZZZ. So every time you do that Zenless Zone Zero ZZZ, I get thinking of the Ozzy. Yeah, I wish I had a picture of Ozzy. I'd pop his face in right here, but we don't have one right with us right now.
I can get one. There's Ozzy. Note to self: we got to put Ozzy in here. But yeah, he'll yell. He used to do the top of the stairs. You look down the stairs, go ZZZ, and he'd go. Meow.
No, he wouldn't. He'd chatter.
He'd chatter. That's right.
And then he'd creep at you. But anyway, that's kind of neither here nor there. But it's been driving me crazy because every time I hear ZZZ, I'm thinking like, ZZZ. Anyway, continue. Sorry, all right. Distracted.
So they were replaced without prior knowledge. They held back their services due to this strike because they're concerned about AI. And I'm like, the irony in this, like you're so concerned about, you're going to get yourself replaced by it a lot sooner. Now it's Genshin Impact's time to make the headlines. I said this would probably happen because they were already very vocal. These voice actors are very vocal. A slew of performers have turned on newcomer Jacob Takanashi, who's done the role of is it Kinich from original actor John. I can't pronounce his name. His name is it John Patton-Wade?
I don't know. Johnny P.
John explains on social media he's been withholding voiceover services during the SAG-AFTRA strike because Hoyoverse wouldn't offer AI protections in the form of a SAG interim agreement. Why would they? They're a Chinese company. I'm just saying, like, why would they? They're a Chinese company. They're like, yeah, we don't give a shit. As a result, the character has remained silent in all of the updates. So that's what people are saying. Like, it's been eerily silent. You're not getting new voice lines because they're not working with the actors. Obviously, a recast is not what I wanted. I'd hope that any progress behind the scenes would be made and I could come back safely, or that if recast auditions went out, my colleagues wouldn't read for them. Guess what?
I wanted to strike, and I figured they would never replace me, and my friends wouldn't try to take the job from me, but somebody else did. How dare they?
It is a big world out there. And SAG-AFTRA unionized voice actors are a very small part of it. And I'm sorry. I'm not trying to be that guy. We talked about this in the other video, but like, if you don't do the job, they will find somebody else to do it. Okay. They're like, yeah, we're a Chinese company. Fuck your union.
And I mean, I feel for them because I think what they're saying about the protections, I get. And I mean, I totally get where they're coming from.
I get it.
I'm like, this is the real world. This is reality. Reality isn't, pie in the sky. And as much as, I agree with them on what they want, this is not surprising to me at all that they would just turn around and step over them, especially if they're not American-based companies.
Yeah, so in his own statement, this is Takanashi. He said that he's grateful for the opportunity to carry the flame from the previous flame bearer, and he has big shoes to fill, but these comments haven't gone down well with the rest of the English cast. It's not just them, lots of fans too. But this is the thing. It's not just the fans being upset. It's other voice actors. We have
then you might as well kiss your job goodbye too.
Yeah, Karina Botger said this wasn't a passing of the torch. Kaylee Mills went even harder, saying this is actually kind of diabolical. If you need the money, at least take the role uncredited. This just comes off as an easy grab for clout. It's not a good look. It's worth stressing at this point, despite joining the English cast, Takanashi is based in Japan and therefore is not a member of any striking American unions. It's also worth adding that he's received plenty of support on social media in addition to the above-mentioned criticism.
So you're mad.
People don't even know what the hell they're talking about.
But I mean, this is the same, I don't know these particular voice actors, but this is the same group of people who are like, you shouldn't do the voice acting of characters that aren't like you. You just stay in your own lane. So go find an Asian voice actor. How dare you? I mean, he's not Chinese, but I was like, how dare you? But it's an Asian voice actor,
So I've got some, again, trying to not being part of this fandom and just being an outsider looking in. I am trying to make sense of this, and it's all over the damn place. It's all over Twitter. It's all over Blue Sky. Here we have another voice actor. Is it Shara Kirby? She's going to be quitting, or she's done with Genshin. Okay, so
well,
this has got to be the most classless thing I've seen with everything going on. Have fun with Genshin. You'll never work on anything else. LMFAO. So that sounds like a threat of blacklisting to me.
Oh, wait. And is this person not white?
I think this person
is she playing a white character or light-skinned character?
I don't know.
Because I don't know either, but that's the case.
Well, they're all light-skinned characters. That was what they're complaining about. They're all light-skinned. Even the dark-skinned characters are light-skinned. It's also interesting how they're recording in Japan for English dubs now. Wow, cool. Go a bed and recast me too while you're at fuck hoy.
I'm sure they're going to now.
They're absolutely going to. Like, look. Yeah, again, this is okay. So I covered the Marvel Rivals situation. There was a studio in Seattle. I think it was Seattle. They had a studio, and it was like, oh my God, guys, they got rid of us. And they made it out here in the States. All the gaming journals made it out like, this studio is responsible for like the creative direction of the game. And then China was just following marching orders. And that was not the case. China was actually in charge of the game. And the rumor is that China got sick of the activists and they shut the Seattle studio down because they're like, yeah, we're tired of dealing with your shit. Look, I guarantee you these companies are paying very close attention to everything going on in California, in Portland, in Seattle, in LA. And they're like, you know what? We can't pause our games to make these activists happy. We don't give a shit. And, so that's what they're going to do. Chinese company, they don't care. Fine, we'll just step over you. Yeah, they're going to use people outside the country. And eventually they'll probably just generate the voices with AI in other languages because it's so much cheaper to do that than to hire 20 different voice actors.
I just want to say that I think she plays Candace, and Candace is like darker skinned, but she's definitely lighter.
Okay. Well, yeah, because none of them are. That was a big bone of contention. Okay,
I'm just like, how dare you? You should only be playing characters that are dark like you.
Wow. Yeah, I know, right?
What are the fans saying? They getting mad for the American voice actors? They just like shut up, or what are they doing?
The reactions have been mixed. Mostly, I'm seeing people being like, "What the hell is going on?" Because apparently the guy that was replaced had come out and say, "Hey, don't bag on him because he's from Japan. He doesn't, he's not." Because they were calling him
didn't know
Scab.
that right away. I take it, and then found out later.
Well,
he's not even part of the union.
Yeah, he's not even part of the union. So this is the Genshin Impact subreddit. Again, outsiders looking in, guys. So I just want to be clear. It's not just Twitter anymore. They're over in Blue Sky.
Who's they?
The fighting. So here we have, let's see here. Sam and Kunjun's English voice actor is very much disappointed with how nasty he is. So this is Aiden Rudd. He's another one. So yeah, we have got this conversation. God, this is crazy. Zane Shacked Voice Goblin says, everyone forgets that one of the big parts of union culture is being real fucking mean to scabs. Those are people who betrayed their fellow workers and they need to be reminded of it. Then Aiden Rudd says, unions had mob ties and would actively assault scabs in the 60s. Now we're just like, oh, please don't think I'm the bad guy for being robbed by this opportunistic clown. I'm not saying we should assault people, but like, this is an instance where shaming is good.
Oh,
what the fuck is wrong with you?
Literally somebody who's not even in the union, not even in the country.
What the fuck is wrong with you? Like, are you calling for white man? Are you calling for this Japanese guy to get beat up? Is he
white? I don't know. I can't tell from the picture. It's too small.
Yeah, this is insane. So this actually the Genshin fans are actually turning on the voice actors at this point. They're like, you're calling for assault. Like, look, this has been going on. This is what's going on in other industries too, right? They're like, yeah, we're going to blacklist you. Ha 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 ha. Good luck with that. Because what's going to happen at the end of the day, it's whoever's willing to do the work at the agreed upon price is going to get the job. And if you're not willing to do it, somebody else, because it's a big world, somebody else is willing to do it.
I'm just reading these comments. Having numerous high-profile Genshin VAs outing themselves as shitbags was not my bingo card for 2025. Then we used to have the mob assault people is a wild thing to say. It said, it wasn't my bingo card, but honestly, a lot of them never seemed very mentally stable. It's common in showbiz.
So apparently these people missed the whole Vic Mignogna arc, right? Where he was like completely destroyed by his peers, because these people are vicious. They really are. They're scared. They're scared because they know. I get
it. They're upset because this guy got his job taken away. I get it, but basically you've been on strike so long, they just decide to step over you, and they're not. And since they're not based here, they're not going to be beholden to the same rules that you're expecting them to be beholden to. I mean, I agree that the AI stuff protections need to be in place because it's really shit. And I agree with them on that. But I also understand that it's a company based in China, and if they want to hire somebody else while you're on strike over here, which they don't have a control over, that they're allowed to do it.
Yeah. I mean, they're saying the Candace voice actor just blew herself up, basically.
Yeah.
Like, who would hire her? Who would hire her? Because it's like, if things don't go your way, you're going to call your company out until you go get fucked. I mean, at this point, I think Mihoyo's they're gonna have to replace everybody. Like, they're gonna have to replace.
Well, that's gonna be sad for people who didn't say anything. But
yeah. This person here is, again, these are Genshin fans. This is the Genshin Impact subreddit. This is on Reddit. Which leans heavily left, and they're very pro-union. Most of the people over there are. It makes me want them to be replaced by more non-US English voice actors. If we'll get less nonsensical drama and more unique voices like accents and such, I would love that. So they're all like, screw these guys.
Yeah. It's just their behavior going after this poor guy isn't good, because, we don't even know if he was what he was told either when he took the job. He might have been told, oh, the other guy can't do it, so we're bringing you in, and it doesn't mean he knew or anything. What's he supposed to do? You should do it non-credited. Let us have the credit because, you're not. It's just really crappy of you. And I'm like, but then he'll never have that credit to put, to get credit for later. You know what I mean? Let's see all you guys work uncredited.
Yeah. So this is a Shara Kirby. Go ahead and recast me based. Fuck Hoyo, disrespectful. He's also a Vic defender, so he tainted himself to a lot of people and coworkers.
Who's a Vic defender?
This other voice actor, the Japanese guy. Is that? Hold on, Vic Mignogna, the sex pest. Oh my god. And his stands doxed his victims and defenders in 2019. Did they? I don't know.
But it's okay when their stands, harass people. That's fine, right.
So all the crazy people moved over to the blue sky.
Gamers we already knew that.
Yeah. Gamers being feral little animals in defense of a scab taking the job of a voice actor who was on strike is pathetic. You people are truly the weakest links.
That's what you're telling your audience that buys the game, keeps you employed. That they're pathetic, they're weak, they're weakest links. I hope one day you realize what it says about you. And this is what they're telling the players that keep them employed.
If I have to read another dumbass take regarding the voice actor recasting in Genshin, I'm going to start bashing knees like the mob. People are pissed. Yeah, I mean, they're pissed all the way around. But
now they have the voice actors and their friends telling the audience their shit. It's like, what? You guys are just dumb. I mean, like, there's a right way and a wrong way to do this, and you definitely aren't handling it in a right way.
So one of the voice actors is apparently feeling suicidal and wait, what? Glad that she's feeling suicidal. What? Okay. Let's see.
This is insane.
Wow. Okay. Let's see here. This is this Genshin? Yeah. Okay. So this is Nikki's English voice actor. Okay. Disappointed, disgusted, and ashamed of the behavior of some of the English voice actors. Recently, it was brought to my attention some of Nikki's English voice actors are involved in what looks like harassment against a new VA for Genshin Impact, who got hired after his character's old VA left his role. Sadly,
he didn't really leave it. It was because he was in strike.
The ones involved in said harassment campaign include Kelly Mills. These are the characters. Instead of congratulating him on his new role or even not talking at all about it, they went out of their way to harass him and bully him to try to kick him out. At that point, I would just say, you know what? If you're not happy about it, just don't say anything. because this does not help. If you're looking, for the public to throw support behind SAG-AFTRA and what you're striking for, you just toss a hand grenade into the situation, because now people are actually hoping you get replaced.
Yeah, I mean, I get the person being upset because he's like, well, damn, I just got replaced. But then I don't know what you had to have known that was a possibility when you went on strike, especially when you could be replaced for people that aren't in the guild, that might be from other countries, don't have access to the guild, the union.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's just it. And they're good. Look, these companies are going to do what they're going to do. And very few companies, the union and the company owners, the company heads, historically have always been at odds, right? There wouldn't have to be a union if everybody was in agreement about, the working conditions or whatever. And all I'm telling you is that there are so many options now. And I'm not saying they're all ideal, but like, you're really in no position to. And
going after somebody who just, might not even know the whole situation, don't know what they know, is not good. And then going after your audience.
Yeah.
Also not smart. Telling the company you work for to go F themselves and fire you. Also not smart. And then they'll scream about it later.
Yeah. So it's, this whole thing, I kind of wondered, we said about this when we did the other video. I said, I know how the Genshin fandom is, and the closest thing I can equate it to is probably Ruby. And I think there's some crossover there too. I'm like, oh God, this is not, if it hits Genshin, it's not going to go well, and it's not going well. So, good luck with all that. I think I'm going to tell you what I think is going to happen. Everybody is going to be replaced. They're not going to work with any union actors going forward because you're too problematic. You have too much baggage. They don't want to deal with it. Just say the words and move on. Get paid.
And they don't have to hire from the union either.
No, they don't have to. They're a Chinese company. They don't have to.
They're just going to probably go outside the U.S. to hire people now.
Yeah.
So there you go.
There you go. So I'm going to wrap it up. We're going to wrap it up. Please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants. We'll talk later.
Bye.